Hello, everyone. Right now, Megan. Okay, can everybody see? We all good? Welcome. So if you're here, come and say hi. Just get these ready. Hey, Helen. Okay. Mr. Ford Mustang. No, I wish I had one. Hey, Nikki. How are you? Okay. Well, welcome, everybody. So today we are doing soup, vegetable soup, and we're doing soda bread. So two things you need to do is you need to put on a kettle for boiling water and make sure your oven is on 220 degrees. Okay, so pop that on first, make sure they're done, and then we're all ready to go. I know we are. Yes, Mr. Bell. I'm very well, thanks, Nikki. Okay. There we are. I'll have to move that about a bit. Okay, so you're going to need a fairly large pan. Hopefully, oh, that's where I put it. With a lid. All right. You'll need a big spoon for the soup. Going to need a baking tray. Okay, I've just got a little greaseproof paper on there. Okay, so we shall leave it till 20 past. All right, so I'll just go through with what you are. So if you are cooking today and you're waiting to get going, all right, now I've got my root veg, so I wanted about 800 grams. So I've got half a swede, I've got 2 parsnips, 3-4 carrots, depending on the size, and 2 onions. So if you want to start prepping those, then feel free. We're going to peel the onions, peel the carrots, peel the parsnips, and peel the swede. So whatever you've got, if you want to peel them now, okay? And then, like I say, 3 minutes time, I'll start prepping. Okay. So that's our stuff there for our soup, and then we have our ingredients for our soda bread. Now, soda bread's a very easy bread to make. There's no yeast, there's no rising. So there is a rise in it, but you don't have to wait hours and hours for it to rise. So it's very good if you want to make a quick bread. Okay, probably quicker than some of these packet mixes. Okay, only thing is it doesn't keep that well, so you really need to eat it that day or the next day, and if you eat it the next day, it's nice toasted. Okay, so what are our ingredients for our soda bread? Why is it called soda bread? It's called soda bread because we have bicarbonate of soda in it, and that produces the carbon dioxide to give the bubbles. Okay, so we have 25 grams of oats, we have 75 grams of plain flour, 100 grams of wholemeal flour, 175 mils or 175 grams of plain yoghurt. Okay, 2 tablespoons of, I've put linseeds down, but I've got some sunflower seeds here. Okay, just to give it a bit of a crunch. You don't have to add that if need be. Now, with the yogurt, if you're dairy free, feel free to just use water. Okay, you may have to adjust the consistency slightly, but you can add some dairy free yogurt. Got to be quite acidic. So if you are putting, hi Ethan, if you are putting in just milk, or if you're putting in just water, you need some acid in there to work with the bicarb. So put a little bit of lemon juice in, or a little bit of cider vinegar. That's good. Okay, only needs a little bit. It won't affect the flavour. Okay, so then I've got some sugar, got some salt. Okay, so we're going to make a start now, and we're going to start with our bread first. Actually, no, we're not. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Sorry, I confused the issue. Confused myself. So basically, get a large bowl, and you can put all of the dry ingredients in to start with. Okay, so put all those that you've weighed out into there. Okay, so then we need half a teaspoon of bicarb. Okay, so make sure you don't overfill that. That's a bit too much there. Okay, that goes in with the flour. Okay, half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, that goes in. And then we're on 1.5 teaspoons of sugar. This is just caster sugar. You can use granulated. You know, if you've only got some golden syrup about, chuck a little bit of that in. Okay, it's all very easy. So just give it a quick stir. So that's all the dry ingredients in. Everything on the list, pretty much. Then we're going to put the yogurt in. Okay. I've got my little spatula here. So that goes in. Scrape that out. Now, if this turns out a little bit dry, depending on your flour and your yogurt, how much water it's got in, then you might have to add a little bit more milk or just a little bit of water. Okay. So then you just want to stir this together, and it's going to form a dough. Okay, so get it all mixed in. We're going to get our hands in there. So just checking that your oven's on 220 degrees. Okay, so that's going to come in together. Just work that in. I'm going to get my hands in there now at this point and just push it together. Handle it quite lightly, and then if you can feel anywhere that's particularly really wet, then you can just put some dry stuff on there so it won't all get stuck to your hands. Okay, so that's nearly there. So I'm going to tip that out. Keep tidy. And then I'm going to knead all that in. Okay, so keep all that going. We want all the bits that are coming out, I want to incorporate that. So I'm going to push down with my heel of my hand. Okay, roll that. Don't want to waste any of that. Okay, so that's coming together now. So I'm folding, just pushing, folding over, pushing. Okay. Now, if it's too wet, put a little bit of flour down. So I've got a little bit of flour here. So we've got enough. Okay, and then you just want to shape it to a ball. So nice and smooth. Okay, that just pulls it up. So we've got a ball. And then I'm just going to put it on my tray. Like that. I've moved a bit, haven't I? And then push it down. Okay, so it's about, I'd say, 1 inch or 2.5 centimeters thick. Okay, because it's cooking quite quick, you don't want it too thick. Okay, so then grab a knife, don't have to be that big. All right, and we're going to put a cross in the middle. And you're going to cut about halfway through the actual dough. All right, this makes sure it's cooked. And also the cross, apparently, so it lets the fairies out, they say. I should leave you with that one. So, just pushing that a bit further so you can see that. That is what you should be looking like. Now we're going to put that straight in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes, okay? So we are at 25 past, okay? So we're going to leave that until at least 1:45. So in we go. Nice hot oven. Okay, and then just have a quick wipe down, all right? Okay, we're going to get rid of any washing up. And then I'm going to move straight on to my soup. Okay? Okay, so let's see about there. Right. So first thing is our 2 onions. So chop and tail them. In half. Okay, top, tail. Okay, and then in half. Okay, and then peel them. Okay, so once that's done, I'm going to get the onions on first. Okay, and then my 2 cloves of garlic. Just going to peel those. 1, 2. And then I'm going to roughly chop all my onions. That's going to go straight in my pot with my garlic. And then we're going to put that on the stove to start to cook. So that can be cooking down while we are prepping the rest of the veg. Now this is a basic soup. This is what we call a puree soup. Okay, because we are going to puree the vegetables. Now, if you like a chunky soup, you can leave it all chunky, so it's more like a broth. Okay, so I'm just going to chop my garlic there. Okay, so then that goes into our pan. Okay, and then you want to light your stove up. There we are. So we're going to put that on a medium heat. We don't want to brown the onions, okay? So turn it down about halfway. Now you may have a little flame and a big flame on your stove. You want it halfway between that, okay? I'm going to put some oil in, about 2 tablespoons for this. And then that's going to go on the stove. If you've got a lid, put the lid on, okay, because that helps all the steam and it will help cook it quicker. So another quick wipe down. Is everybody okay? Are we keeping up? Yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? What do you like about it, Mr. Bell? We have some fishes on this side. We have some fishes on this side as well. Okay. So next. So swede, if you haven't done swede before, I'll just show you how to do it. That's a whole one. No, it's not, it's a half. It's half of a whole one. Let's turn those lights down a little bit. That's better. So, with that, I'm going to cut the top off and cut the bottom off. Okay, so can you hear them sizzling? If you can hear them, now you might need a cloth to take those off. Okay. So can you hear that? We have to use all of our senses in the kitchen. Give them a quick stir. And make sure they're not browning. If they are, turn the gas down a little bit. Lid goes back on. Okay, so then, now if you're a chefy person, you can just peel the swede like this. Okay. Obviously, if you don't want to use a huge knife, then you can just use a speed peeler. Okay, now just peel it until you get to the orange. When it goes orange, that means you've peeled it up. Okay. Now you don't, like I say, you don't have to use. All we've asked for is 800 grams of root veg. Now you can chop this beforehand. You can use. You know, they do some stew packs and that in the supermarket. You could put some leeks in there. You could put anything like that. So I'm just going to chop this up. So I'm going to do it quite fine, just because it will cook quicker. So you can take your time, okay? Don't rush it. There's no rush, okay? But I need to give you something that's very well cooked in the time scale, and then you can leave yours to cook for a bit longer if need be. Okay. If you want it to cook real quick, then what you could do is either grate them or put them through the food processor. You know, where we chopped the onions and that the other week. if you use something like butternut squash, it doesn't take long at all to cook. So I'm just going to lift that off so you can hear that, can't you? So what we're going to do is we're going to add that. What I do, so that I don't drop everything, I'll get a plate or something and then just slide it onto the plate first of all when it's small bits, and then just in it goes. And remember, you always put things in away from yourself. So I'm tipping away. So if it does splash, it's going to splash over there rather than in my face. Okay? So again, give it a quick stir. Okay, lid goes back on. So what the lid's doing is all the steam is coming up, going back down, keeping the moisture in, keeping the water in, but it's softening it down. So next, we're doing parsnips, okay? All right, exactly the same as we do carrots. Peel them. Can you see that? Use whatever peeler you like. It doesn't matter. So that's one. So I measured all this out earlier, and I had about 900 grams of vegetables, because I think by the time I've peeled all the vegetables, you can probably take off about 100 grams in peelings. So these peelings, put them in your food container. All right. Now, if you've got chickens, I used to have chickens. So if you steam the peelings and that, then you can give them to your chickens. Maybe you've got rabbits and that. Do they? Oh, they're definitely carrots. I don't know about parsnips and that. Okay. Right, so that's that peeled. So peel everything first. That's a good idea. And then again, so all I'm doing is just, I'm really roughly chopping these. So with a parsnip, cut the top off, cut the bottom off. Then, using our bridge, go through, push the knife, down it goes. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm pushing and then I'm hitting it with the heel of the knife. Okay. I'm using the whole blade, and then basically just chop that back. Okay. You don't have to do it as quick as this. Take your time. Keep safe. I've done this for a few years, so if you want to cut it in half to make it easier, then you can do. With soups, it doesn't really matter, about the size and that. It'll just, if they're too big, it'll take longer to cook. So our bread's been in about 10 minutes now. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to pop these straight in. Okay, so in that goes. I'm going to give it a quick stir. Okay, now we go for the carrots. Hopefully not. Now, Mr. Bell, I do hope this is a nice vegetarian main course for you. So you can leave it chunky. Leave it chunky, have it broth with some bread. What else can you have it with? Okay, so you see we're doing exactly the same. Chopping away. Watch your fingers. Remember, hold them like that. So you got this and okay, and don't worry, if you are not keeping up, then going to give you a couple of minutes to keep up. Right, I just want to get everything in and start it cooking. Okay. Okay, so that is my carrots done. So again, I'm going to pop that on the plate. Take the lid off. Obviously, make sure to use a cloth if you need to. Okay, that's all cooking down nicely now. So I'm just stirring that all in now. And then on goes our lid. Okay, so next, what we're going to do? Clean down, aren't we? Lovely. Okay, so all you should have left really is your 2 stock cubes. So get rid of your rubbish. Get your sink all filled up. Okay, so is everybody okay? Are we all looking good? No, water hasn't gone in yet. So pop that on to boil now. Going to give that about another 3-4 minutes, Helen. So let's talk about what we're doing actually. Just give me 1 minute. Moonpig.com. Okay. Where's my spoon gone? So, the idea is we are going to sweat the vegetables down. Now, by cooking them in oil, we are going to cook them. We're going to break down the cell walls. And also, root vegetables have quite a lot of sugar in, or naturally occurring sugar, no refined sugar or anything. So by sweating them off, this means it will release it. So it'll give you a nice sweet soup, a bit like when you roast vegetables. Okay, so you could use this rather than sweating them down. You can just have them in the oven, roast them down, roasted roots. You know, so do a few more maybe when you're doing your Sunday lunch, roast some more roots, and literally put them in the stock and bring them to the boil and job done. So we are going to put the water in there. So I've got my kettle on to boil. And all I'm going to do is literally put the water in so it's nearly up to the same level as the vegetables, all right? Then in goes my stock cubes. Don't season at this point because sometimes these stock cubes are a bit salty, so it's best off. So that's 2 vegetable stock cubes. Obviously, you know, if you want a bit of chicken, if you're not vegetarian, then feel free. So then we turn that up to full whack. Give it a quick stir. Hi, Oliver. And then on goes our lid. And there we are. So I'm going to check my bread now, because that's what we're looking at now. And we're going to leave that about another 2-3 minutes, I reckon. Okay. I've just put the extractor fan on, okay, because the oven sometimes sets off the smoke alarm, or especially when I'm cooking. Okay, so we can have a little soup bowl. And then we're just waiting for this to cook now. Okay, the bread's nearly cooked. So is everybody getting on all right? Give me a thumbs up, just to say, yeah, we're all good. We're getting on okay. Good to hear from you, Oliver. You have a nice half turn. Get all ready for our bread. Lovely. Okay, Helen, well done. So I've got here a stick blender. Okay, we've used these at college. So they're twisted in half. Okay, and that's going to puree my soup down. Now, you don't always have to use that. All right, you don't have to have them pureed. Pureed means all mushed up, so there's no bits in it. So, just that little stir. It's getting on quite nicely. And then I'm going to pull my bread out now. Okay, so there's our bread. It will be quite crispy. Okay, it's a brown bread, so it's going to be brown. Let's move that out of the way. Okay, so you can see the bread now. So golden brown. I'm going to use a serrated knife. Okay, so for cutting bread, serrated. So serrated knife is going to have teeth. Now, if you've got 4 of you, nice and easy, isn't it? You can just cut it into 4. So cut inside it. Make sure it's a little bit moist in the middle, but that's nice. So we're going to cut that in half. That's there. Nice and light. Have a smell. It smells almost buttery. All right, so I'm just going to cut mine into a few pieces just so you can see. Remember, our brown flour is good for us. Any problem is I tend to put too much butter. How about you? Do you like bread and butter? Okay, so that's that. So that's going to be for our side. So that's boiling down nicely now. Just going to see if my veg is soft. Like I say, you can leave yours on a bit longer. Okay, it will be the Swede that takes the time. So I think we're nearly there now. Okay, so you see how simple that is. What are we at? 36 minutes. And we've made, by the time we'll get to 45, by the time we've done that, everything will be done apart from the washing up and the cleaning. So in 45 minutes, we've made a loaf of bread and we've made soup. Now, something like that, if it's just for you, you could get 5 lunches out of that, or at least 4 lunches out of that. God, I remember Sims, Oliver. So that's your lunch. Doesn't cost a lot either. A couple of stock cubes. That's going to be maybe, I don't know, £2-3 there at most. All right? And like I say, everybody eats yogurt, don't they? So yogurt. You don't have to have all the brown bread in there. Or sorry, the brown flour, the wholemeal flour. You can make it out of white, but traditionally it's made from there. And we all have to have a bit of fibre in our diet to keep us healthy. So wholemeal flour is good. All right. So I'm going to turn that off now. Turn this off. Turn that off. Okay, so you can, I'm going to do this straight away. You can leave it to cool for a bit before you do this. And obviously, don't put it on your side once you've taken it straight off. It's okay. This is a wooden board, so I'm fine. So, I have got my stick blender here. So, I'm going to put it in, but I'm not going to turn it on until I'm ready. There we are. Make sure I've got plenty of space. I'll move the knife out of the way. Then I'm going to put it into the bottom. Okay. And then now I'm going to turn it on. So I'm all ready. The blade's down there. I'll make sure it's well held. Then turn it on. Okay. Then you press the button. Okay, all right. So that's nearly there. Okay, so that's done. So hold it, turn it all off first. Take the plug out. Okay, and then put that on the side safely for it to cool down. So this is a bit thick at the moment. So all I'm going to do is add some hot water to that. Okay, depending on how thick or thin you want your soup. Okay, there's lots of vitamins, minerals in our fresh veg. So there we are. Then we get a couple of tasting spoons. Taste that first. Always use a different spoon to taste every time you taste. Season, use another spoon. That's really nice. I think just a little bit of salt and pepper in there. So, a little bit in. Then some pepper, any sort of pepper you like. I don't, Oliver. I don't play Sims. I'm playing now. What am I playing at the moment? I usually play Zelda, but I finished that. That took me 4 years. And now I am on Skyrim. But I've had that for a couple of months. I haven't got really very far with it. I don't play them an awful lot. I do play Mario Kart with my grandsons. Okay, now we're going to taste that again. That's lovely. Oh, yours is ready. Well done, Helen. Good work. Okay, and then I'm just going to serve some. So, now, if you wanted to put some herbs in while you're doing this, then you can. Okay, so can we see the soup? Okay, nice colour. You're going to get a gaming PC. Okay, also, I've got some soup spoons. So these are deeper than normal spoons and they allow you to sip the soup. Okay, so that's it for today's. Next week, we are going to be making, it's St. David's Day. So that means that we're going to be doing something Welsh. So we're going to be making Welsh cakes. Now they're a very easy recipe. It's like halfway between a pancake and a scone with some sultanas in. So if you look on the live links, there is all the details there now. I will send them out to you by email. And they will also be on Google Classroom as well. So go to your class page, click on your class page, or the catering page, and then you'll be able to see what you need. There's the link there, and there's the ingredients. Only a few ingredients for next week. Okay, so everybody all okay? And I shall see you next week. Okay, I'll be on here for about 5 minutes to answer any questions. Okay, the stream will be ended, but you can still type in. Okay, bye, Ethan. Thank you very much. See you next week. Helen, see you next week. Boys. Cheers, Nikki. Bye.